EDU Channel School Sports Focus, bringing you stories about emerging talents.
Coming up in the School Sports Focus this week, we bring you stories about rugby. We will tell you how it went down at the Bull Ring in Kakamega. We will tell you how a personal initiative by a rugby lover has changed the face of rugby in the Western region. This episode features girls rugby, a sport that has grown steadily since its introduction in 2015 as an exhibition game. We also bring you the story of Koyonzo, the small school from Western Kenya that is making minced meat of Kenya's rugby giants. Although there are many pre-game rituals, the haka dance on the rugby field is one of the most recognized sports rituals in the world. We have a story on this war dance. As usual, we have views from players, fans and teachers who make the inter-school competitions possible. And we bring you the best moments during the 2023 Secondary School Term 2 Games.
EDU Channel School Sports Focus, bringing you stories about emerging talents.
The National Educator.
The School Sports Focus starts right now.
The girls' rugby was back after a short interruption. Despite the short notice, various secondary schools prepared well for the games.
We have really enjoyed this game, even with the short notice for the preparation of the team, which has not been there. We had to go and pick girls from class, give them some few skills. Then we identified those who are like they can just get what we can give them in their good time, because it's only close to a month before we heard about this thing, actually 3 weeks. But they have appreciated what we gave them. They did it well in the regionals, and in the nationals they have tried.
Inclusion of rugby is in line with the strategic plan of the rugby's world governing body. The rugby body has targeted at doubling on-field female representation and developing a path to gender-balanced leadership in sports. The aim is to ensure equity on and off the field with representation and participation across all levels of rugby by 2025. The coaches have an elaborate rugby development plan.
We're going to scout from class very good girls. We have very good girls in our school that I know by the end of this year, we're going to have a very strong team.
Participation in rugby is enabling girls to dream big.
We encourage other girls to join us so that we may build a better team. Yeah.
The title was won by Nyamira Mixed Secondary School after defeating Gilgil Girls 10-5. Christine Akinyi, the head coach of the winning team, hopes organizers will put in place proper mechanisms to ensure the game remains on the sports calendar.
You are watching the School Sports Focus.
The National Educator.
We come back with a story behind the Bull Ring, the renowned rugby stadium that hosted the 2023 school championship. We tell you the story of Rajinder Singh Sembi, alias Pape, the man behind the sports facility. With a natural lush green backdrop, the Bull Ring Rugby Stadium located in Kakamega can be credited with the growth of the game in the western region. The stadium is home to Kabras Sugar Football Club and Western Bulls Rugby Club. Bull Ring, the name of the rugby motherland of Western Kenya, is an evocative name that tells the story of the love of bullfighting, a sport that is popular in this part of Kenya. The name is also metaphoric because it compares rugby with something that has similar qualities. Both rugby and bullfighting demand for endurance from participants, hence the name Bull Ring. The man behind the stadium is Rajinder Singh Sembi, or Pape, as he is known by residents of his birth town, Kakamega. Pape single-handedly founded the stadium after he realized the western region needed a dedicated rugby stadium. The Bull Ring has benefited the game of rugby in many ways.
The main thing we require, rugby is a structured game. Rugby is a team game, very much so. And what we require is a footpath. All the coaching levels must be the same so that we develop our players. And believe you me, in my opinion, we have talented players in Western Kenya.
Pape's views were echoed by Professor Peter Bukala, a sports science professor with expertise in inclusive physical activity.
Private clubs need to come up to supplement what is happening by the public sector. And this is because many private enterprises, for example sports venues, the good sports venues are actually managed by private clubs. And then when we see the public ones are not very well maintained. So if there is any partnership that supports that interaction between public and private, then we should be able to see enhanced performance. We have such collaborations already. It's not that it is the first time. Many sports clubs, private clubs, are opening up their doors for young people to participate. For example, swimming. Most of the swimming pools are owned by private enterprises, but they still open up for public to use. A good example is at Kakamega Sports Club, where they have opened up their tennis courts for public to use. And many young people in the community in Kakamega are now accessing this facility. Last weekend I saw young people from primary schools around here being trained how to play golf on the course here. Those are opportunities that should happen so that young people, as they grow up, they know that they can access these sports and they can build the skills. So I think it's important that private clubs open up their doors for public and young people to learn.
The Bull Ring will be even better in future.
Our vision for the future is very clear, and we have offered this to Kenya Rugby Union, that because we have such a host of schools playing rugby in this area, we want them to set up an academy. We have the rugby fields, which is properly compounded. We have a rugby team. We have rugby teams here, which not only in schools, but we have Kabras now in Kenya Cup. We have Western Bulls in the championship. And of course, we have got other nationwide teams which are also competing as well. But to take up the level, and especially looking at the footpath to go to the national teams, Kenya Rugby Union have to set up an academy in Western Kenya. And we are giving them the proceeds for that.
Sembi had this special message.
Life is rugby and rugby is life. Discipline on the pitch represents discipline off the pitch. Rugby players are very disciplined in what they do and how they do things. And if you can do that on the field of play, where you must discipline yourself. First of all, it starts from training. Whatever you do, you must do it with all your heart. If you put your heart into it, you're more likely to be good and more likely to enjoy it. And especially in the game of rugby, if you don't put your heart into it, you can easily get injured. You have to be there fully focused. Now let's take that into life. As a former rugby player, whatever I do it well, I do it hard. I look at it, and this is what I give a message to all the youngsters that are there. Life is never easy. It's never just going to give you a breakaway and you go straight to go and score a try. There will be many hurdles in the way. You have to sidestep those hurdles. You have to negotiate them. The same curveballs the life is going to throw at you. So rugby is life and life is rugby. That's my message.
Asked if Kakamega was his hometown, Sembi said,
I'm born in Kakamega town very many years ago. But when I went abroad, I used to play rugby in the UK, and I played up to university level in the UK. Then I came back to Kenya, and in Kakamega in 1980.
You are watching the School Sports Focus.
We will come back with the story of Koyonzo Secondary School, the giant slayer in the school rugby, not only in Kenya, but in the East African region.
The School Sports Focus.
Bringing you views from players, coaches, match officials, and much more.
The future of sports is in schools.
Appreciate school sports. Watch the School Sports Focus on EDU Channel every Sunday from 1:30 p.m.
Keep watching EDU TV.
Koyonzo's win of the National Rugby Sevens title and later the Federation of East Africa Secondary School Sports Association Championship was a modern David versus Goliath story. The unanticipated achievement of Koyonzo, a small school that lacks even a playing field, was triumph not just over competing teams but also of several off-pitch challenges.
This is a team that began in 2017. That was the year I joined that school, that Koyonzo Boys, as a teacher. Previously, I was a teacher at Bungoma High School. We had just finished our East African Championship under my guidance. And the principal at that time got attracted to me, and he lured me to Koyonzo Boys. And one thing, funny thing, when I went to Koyonzo Boys, they didn't even have a rugby ball. And from there, we bought some 2 balls. We began from there. We began at a very lower level. But the funny thing with the Koyonzo Boys, if you come there, is one school that we don't have even a training field. We train from our primary school, and when you look at the condition of the primary school pitch, it's not one that is very nice or very good that you wish to train from. Actually, for us to get a friendly, we never do our friendlies from our school because we don't have a pitch. We normally go out, and if we have a school that is coming for a friendly, we have to request a neighboring school so that we can do our friendlies from there.
Koyonzo is a tale of the power of a young school that won when least expected. It was a battle against both physical resources and the powerful schools that have been rugby giants for years. However, without adequate facilities for small schools, the route to the nationals is a hard nut to crack. The extraordinary journey that saw Koyonzo dominate East Africa was possible through the support of several of the school's principals, as Coach Eli Okwemba explains.
It's a team that has been under 4 principals, and I want to thank all the principals who have worked with me. They have been supporting the team, and one of the reasons why they equally support this team is because the team is very disciplined, and it's always giving them results whenever they try to support it.
It was through the players' discipline and hard work that Koyonzo succeeded in the extraordinary journey.
I may say it's just all about commitment, hard work, not even about facilities. It's about commitment, hard work, and just being tactically and boys being disciplined.
Several coaches agree with Coach Okwemba's opinion on discipline and player commitment.
I'm thinking that disciplined player will do the right things at the right time, and you need that in the pitch as well. But also who is coachable, like who listens. It's more important to me who listens more, so that we can even implement what you're saying rather than what he thinks that is right.
Why we lost the quarters, I can say a bit of a communication problem. Yeah, so guys just not getting it right when it matters. So that was a bit of it cost us something. We should have been in the semis.
The East African Championship was a derby. Koyonzo defeated their arch-rivals, Vihiga High School, 21-0. Prior to the duel at the East African level, the two teams had met both at the regional and national finals. The Koyonzo-Vihiga rivalry saw the greatest rematches in school sports recorded in the near past.
EDU Channel School Sports Focus, bringing you stories about emerging talents. Every child
Deserves a chance
to realize their talent
and reach their full potential.
That is why we are proud of bringing you the School Sports Focus, a show with stories about emerging talents.
In addition to winning the championship, Koyonzo Stormers' pre-match haka right was outstanding. Indeed, all sports have accompanying rights. While some are ordinary, such as handshakes, opening and closing ceremonies, hugging or dancing during the game, others are near superstitious. For example, players often use tricks to avoid being the first on the pitch. Others touch the grass upon entering the field and make a sign of the cross. Some even reuse the previous game's unwashed kits. The haka stands out as a unique pre-match rite. It is neither ordinary nor superstitious, but a well-choreographed dance made to prepare players mentally for an awaiting match. According to research findings published in the International Journal of Sport and Exercise Psychology, indigenous pre-game rituals are as effective as the scientifically proven techniques for psyching players before a game. The two are pre-match routines for enhancing the players' achievements.
EDU Channel School Sports Focus, bringing you stories about emerging talents.
The haka that became the rugby pre-game ritual was originally a variety of ceremonial dances of the Maori people, an indigenous Polynesian tribe in New Zealand. The tradition began when the All Blacks, the New Zealand national rugby team, performed the choreographed war haka dance during the team's first-time tour of Britain in 1888. The haka dance by Koyonzo had literal meaning because the East African School rugby champion has many similarities with New Zealand. Just as All Blacks has made New Zealand, a nation of only 5 million people, the dominant and untouchable rugby team, Stormers has made Koyonzo, a small school in Western Kenya, the dominant and untouchable rugby king of East Africa. That is why the school sports focus would have voted the Koyonzo Stormers haka as the most valuable pre-game ritual in the 2023 competition.
EDU Channel School Sports Focus, bringing you stories about emerging talents.
We bind rugby on spiritual growth equally. They are very spiritually, they respect God, they know God is there, and whatever the achievements they are getting because of the blessings of God. So on the basis of godliness, it makes them to be disciplined. We try to ask them to balance in academics and equally balance on the fields, because you never know. We are talented differently. Being brilliant in class is a talent. Being brilliant on the pitch, we call it a talent. So you can balance the two talents and make sure that you achieve.
We finished this episode with behind the scenes and the best moments of the program.
3, 2, 1.
I see.
Wazi. Yeah.
An excellent pickup from the scrum by number 8 can create an extra attacker. Lessons on the pitch can work instant magic. Our best moment in this episode was when the Koyonzo Stormers made minced meat of the defense. See how he crushed his opponents. He had no match.
Yeah, EDU TV is good. It is very educative. I encourage parents to be watching. Let the kids equally watch, because I've seen you presenting some things to do with music festivals. I've seen you covering games, giving us replays of matches that have been played longer time ago. So I think it's a good experience, and I may say EDU TV is all round. Actually, it is one TV that is encouraging parents to know that academics goes hand in hand with co-curricular activities, because co-curricular is part of the curriculum. So I'll encourage the parents to be watching EDU TV, and equally the students. I can be encouraged to watch those EDU TV programs.
If you missed any part of the show or you want to watch it again, visit our YouTube channel, EDU Channel. And if you have a story about school sports you think we should feature, send us information through educhannel@kicd.ac.ke. You can also communicate with us through our Facebook page at EduTV Kenya. Send us your self-recorded clips with your name and telephone number. We want to hear your opinion and put our focus on the sports you like.